I was born and raised in Haiti, came to the United States in 1973. I went to Haiti in April. When I got outside, immediately outside of the airport, you can see some damage, but it's when you start getting into town that you started seeing the devastations going through the roads through Delma. We started seeing devastation, but that wasn't anything compared to what we saw when we went downtown Port-au-Prince around the National Palace. There's tent cities, some that are quite large, some are smaller, but it's just tent cities after tent cities after tent cities. When you go through the downtown, you see a lot of rubble, and people are still under the rubble. That's disconcerting. The entire downtown was just looked like a war zone.
When the earthquake happened, I didn't know that it was that bad. I didn't, when people said that there was one building who fell just 2 blocks away, I thought that the people were exaggerating.
As you can see the walls. And it looks like it shook so hard, the insides fell out. And this used to be the kitchen, and that's just non-existent. It's non-existent. And these were the rooms. This was the major bedroom, this was another one, this was another room. So it's basically 3 rooms altogether. But the walls fell in, so it's like one big room now.
I took my motorcycle after the big earthquake. I had to climb on top of gates with my motorcycle, climb on top of houses that fell from the mountains. They fell on the roads. I climbed with my motorcycle to get to my house. And when I got there, I didn't see my house. But when I looked at the place, I said, it's impossible. Nobody can be alive there.
I went home because I live up in the mountains. I went home, and then the mother of my son called me and told me that my son was under the rubbles, okay? And this is where I began to realize what happened. And well, when we found the body, and we realized that he died immediately, that he did not, at least I don't think that he did suffer. We found his glasses because he was studying, and he died with his grandmother, okay, and I think a cousin of his grandmother.
We had a friend that, I guess she came from school and had a headache, went to sleep, and when the house collapsed, it collapsed on her. And her head was one side, her legs was on the other side. She was, the bed just fell with her.
I heard my youngest son crying, and his name is Farrell. So I said, Farrell, are you there? And he was crying and calling my name at the same time because he heard me. And then I heard my wife telling me, babe, we right there. Farrell is with me, and my feet is touching Liam, my 9-year-old. And when I ran to the hole where I heard them, I could hear them, but I couldn't see them. So I started scraping the floor with my fingers, and then I found Liam's head. And he was trying to breathe so much that he started swallowing stuff. I said, stop opening your mouth like this. You're gonna swallow the debris, you know? So I started scraping the rest of his body. Then I saw a big piece of concrete on top of his feet. I said, okay, Dimitri, prepare yourself, your son lost his legs. And when I started scraping, I couldn't see blood. So I said, oh my God, maybe he's trapped, he's okay. And I saw the piece of concrete. And I was shocked when I realized that the piece of concrete was cut the shape of his legs, like a miracle. And it was just having some pressure on his legs. And I took this big piece of iron bar and I started hitting the concrete with it. I hit that piece of concrete so hard that it was like it went like little pieces. It exploded, and then I could free my son. But my wife and my youngest was underneath the roof, and her back was in the floor, and the roof was on top of my son that was on her stomach. And she did something amazing, because every time she breathed normally, she was pressing my 3-year-old on the roof. So she had to keep from breathing normally so she wouldn't crush my son. And I mean, she was exhausted. And with that same piece of iron bar, I freed my wife and my youngest son.
I don't know one person who did not lose somebody that they knew very well, okay, or even many people that they knew very well.
It's something that I saw once in movies. I've never seen something like that in my whole life. And I watched documentaries a lot, but I've never seen something like that. The bodies were everywhere, one on top of the other, kids, grown-ups, women, some of them were naked.
Everybody was in trouble, so nobody could really help nobody on the spot.
I was hearing people screaming that needed help in the neighborhood, and I took all the tools. I went to the neighborhood, and my wife was calling me, "Babe, where are you going? Stay with us." I said, "Babe, let me tell you something. God gave you life with my sons for a reason, and now I've got to pay him back. I've got to help others that need help, because I have tools. All these people over there in the neighborhood, they don't have tools." And that's how I took the tools, I walked with my friends, and I saved 14 people. The next day, I saved 14 live people. And when I collapsed, it's when I was about to finish, because I didn't have enough strength left. So I heard a noise, like somebody crying for help. And I couldn't position where the screams were coming from. I heard a guy screaming for help. And when I realized where I was on the 6th floor of a building that collapsed. So he's like 4 floors underneath me. And when I tried to understand the concept of the building and where I was, where he was, I said, there's no way. There's not anybody here right now that has strength to save him. And I had to leave the premises with this guy helping for help after helping 14 people. So this is really what crashed me, and I didn't have no strength left, and I started crying like a baby, because I wasn't able to save a life that needed help.
I used to hear a lot of extraordinary things that happened to that people. Somebody went out of a building to smoke a cigarette, and then the building fell, so he was saved by a cigarette. And other people went into a building, and for a reason, a very not important reason, and they die and things like that, you see. So now I cannot hear things like that without starting to cry or something.
I shake a lot. I can't hold a cup of coffee in my hand without hearing tak 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 tak. And it bothers me. I tend to lose my memory from time to time. Like whenever I have an appointment, I tend to forget about it. It bothers me, and I really don't know anywhere to go in Haiti to have this fixed.
I think that I will never forget that day. I will never forget that day.
So, you know, my experience of the 12th of January was drastic.
I don't know if there's something, maybe war would be more terrible, but after that, I'm not sure that you can collectively, as a nation, as a collectivity, I don't think that there's something worse that you can live. Maybe a stronger earthquake, yes, maybe.
And I wish I could do something for my country. I mean, I love Haiti, and I wish I could do something to help my country, you know?
Because Haiti, despite the fact that they call us the poorest nation in the Western Hemisphere, we are poor in materials, but we are rich in culture and customs.
There are good sides too, as you can say. This is very nice here, and even if there's destruction and things like that, but there are very nice things to say about Haiti and about the country.
The country is the most beautiful island in the Caribbean. But what happened is that political problems, educational problems, the mass of the people can't think the right things to do.
But I do believe with people with good faith can rebuild Haiti, can also build Haiti.